Hi, everybody. This is Artie. So, some of you know me from my writing page, Magic Mystic Muse, and that is where my poetry and my writings, and now expanding to some pick a card readings, are going to be on that page. And I also have a Magic Mystic Muse page on Facebook if you want to follow me there. And others of you know me as Artie, Artemis, which is my screen name. And I also have another page that I run called Eye of Taurus Tarot. So, or Tarot if you're picky. Anyway, so as promised, we are going to do a pick a card reading. And I just want to specify that this is a very general reading. This is a reading for the collectives. So there's going to be a lot of different people listening, and some of the messages might resonate, some of them might not. So you take what resonates, you take what is your truth, you take what hits home. If it hits home, it's for you. If it doesn't, and you find yourself sitting there saying, well, this reading really wasn't for me and it didn't resonate at all, and I didn't get anything out of it, then that message was not for you, and you're more than welcome to listen to the next two. Or maybe, I might not be the reader for you. So I'm going to go ahead and get going, and we're going to go ahead and get started. Again, these are general. I just want to make that very clear. This is not a specific reading for you personally. If you want that, you are more than welcome to book with me. And right now, the page is not giving me a tab for rates, but I can post that on the Facebook page, just so that we're all clear. Okay? All right. So that being said, I'm going to move pile C and pile B out of the way. So if you chose pile A, we're going to get started here. So the decks that I am using are the Gilded Tarot by Cyril Marchetti, the Wisdom of the House of Night Oracle by P.C. Cast and Colette Baron Reed, the Romance Angels by Doreen Virtue, and Whispers of Love by Angela Hartfield. Okay, so your first card for the Gilded is Two of Swords. Then you have Confidence, and I'm not sure that this artwork is coming in. It's probably got a glare on it. It's at night. I'm sorry I'm doing this late. Your Romance Angel card is Unrequited Love. And your Spirit message is Honesty. Okay. Now, this reading, we could take it in two ways and do a general and a love, but I'm really not feeling like this is a general reading. I really feel like this is relationship centered. Now, when I say relationship, that doesn't always mean romantic. So if you're a person who is single, like 1,000% single, that doesn't mean that this won't apply to you. Okay. Oftentimes, and the way that I do my readings is that I always start from the internal and go external. So starting within and going without, because that is the way we manifest. So again, this could very well apply to you, even if you're not in a romantic relationship. You might have, relationship covers everything: siblings, coworkers, your pets. And of course, that's not going to be romantic, or it shouldn't be. And you'll also have things, the way that things manifest in your experience, that's your relationship with self. So this can encompass a whole lot of things, okay? All right, so your first card is Two of Swords, and then we have Confidence, which in the regular tarot, I'm thinking that this is the Magician, okay? Then we have Unrequited, and Honesty is Essential. So the first thing that I'm picking up is that whoever that you, and I really don't feel like it's somebody external. I do not feel right now that it is someone else. I really feel that it's you. So what we're missing here is a true intake, a true introspection in how you are approaching life, how you are approaching others, how you are approaching your world. That's what I'm getting. That is the biggest message that's coming in. So I'm going to rearrange these cards just a little bit. First and foremost, if you are dealing with another person, now there's a lot of readers that would take this and use this as a sign and say, well, you might be dealing with an air sign. Libra, Aquarius, Gemini. But I personally, since we all have so many different signs in our own charts, I'm not going to lean on that right now. What I am going to say is that this card signifies that you are not seeing a situation completely for what it is. You've got your blinders on. And I really believe that that is because you're not being truly honest with yourself about your situation. So if we look at the artwork on this card, she has her back turned and she's just trying not to see the mask that she's wearing. So if this is the same person, she's moving forward and just kind of pretending that this isn't something that's there. And if it's two different people, then she's deliberately making a choice not to see a situation for what it is. Okay? So if you have somebody in your experience that might not be showing up all the way, or might not be showing up in a way that you know your whole gut feeling says that this is not truthful. This person, maybe they're hot and cold, maybe they're super loving and warm on their terms, and then they turn around and they take off and you don't hear from them for a few weeks. Maybe they're doing that whole thing. Maybe they're playing hot and cold and coming in and coming out. Or maybe you're telling yourself that you want a relationship and maybe you're the one coming in and coming out. So it could be either one, but because of this card here, I really don't think that it's on the external. It could be, it absolutely could be, because the roles can be reversed. But we have unrequited love, and I really think that this is talking about you leaving situations that you know aren't good for you. Taking the mask off, taking the blinders off, understanding that you have way more power in your situation than you ever thought you did. Way more power. You have the choice to decide how you want your experience to look, how you want to interact with other people, how you want to show up, and how you expect them to show up for you. So when we shift our energy and we shift our frequency and we start asking better from ourselves, keeping our own promises, keeping our own commitments to ourselves, resonating higher in a way where it's more than just lavender baths. When we talk about self-love, it's also boundary setting, right? When you set clear boundaries for yourself and for others, that is a huge form of self-love that will bring in people that respect you and take good care of you. And it doesn't mean that people don't have faults, and it doesn't mean that they don't mess up. But in this particular, if we take a look at this artwork, this person is crazy bored. They are so bored, and I don't know if you can see that. But he's offering her everything, and she's just kind of meh. I don't really care, okay? So if you're the person in this experience who is constantly giving way too much to people who just don't deserve it, who sit there and go, oh no, I totally dig you and everything's great. But then every time that you turn around and show them reciprocal affection, they're out of there. It's time to kind of take the blinders off. It's time to take the blinders off and recognize this for what it is. It's probably not what you want it to be. It's probably somebody who just really isn't on the same page as you and really isn't ready to offer you what it is you want. Okay? And in that situation, your advice is to be authentic with yourself. Really get honest with you. Where do you want to go? Who do you want to see yourself with? How do you want all this to look? It's time for you to get really honest, okay? But you absolutely have everything that you need within yourself to create your experience the way you want it to look, okay? That's the message on there. So I think that is really, and you know what? I'm going to pull one more card. I call this my honest or my raw truth deck because it doesn't hold any punches. It says what it is. So, okay, so you got peace. Again, once you take off these blinders and once you decide for yourself the way you want your experiences to go, and you really set those boundaries and you come in all the way for yourself, this is what you're going to experience. You're going to have peace. You're no longer going to be waiting for somebody to decide for you what your happiness looks like. You won't be giving all of your power away. You won't be experiencing this constantly. You're going to have inner peace. So that's it for reading A. So I hope that resonated with you, and please feel free to leave me a like. Also subscribe to the page, and I also am starting a YouTube page or a YouTube channel, and so that should be rolling here pretty soon. So I'm going to move to reading B. Okay, so we will go with B. So your first card is the Three of Pentacles. Your second card is the High Priestess. And this is the High Priestess of Air, but pretty much the High Priestess on that one. Then we have Trust. And then for your spirit message, we have Choose Love. There we go. All right, so give me just a minute to tap in. As you can see, Kitty Cat really wants to go outside. Okay. In this reading, so for those of you who chose B, it's actually very specific. Arya, stop. Yeah, he really wants out. Okay, so in this reading, what we have is for you to come back to an introspective place. So right away, here's you wanting to kind of go. So it's wanting to get started, but not really sure. And you're building, you're working, you're doing it. You have universal support. That is very clear from these cards here. Trusting the process, trusting that spirit has your back, trusting that what you're doing is going to be fruitful, okay? If this is relationship based, you are in a building phase right now. You and your partner are building. Now, yes, it can mean a third-party situation, but that's really not what I'm picking up from this. And I'm not really even picking up from this that it's couple-based. I'm getting from this that this is really about the self. So I guess what I'll do is I'll split it up really quickly. For relationships, I do not see that this is a third-party situation. I see two people really, this is somebody who wants to build. This is somebody who really is ready to put in the effort, ready to do whatever needs to be done to build their castle. They've got all three pentacles in the air. Our next card is the High Priestess. Again, this is using your logic, using your intuition. And the reason that I don't feel like this is entirely relationship based is because right behind it we've got trust. And what I'm getting from these two together is that this is your time, and this is about the self. So yes, you would have the universal support behind you if you wanted to start a new relationship, but I really, really, really believe that this is not so much about becoming a twosome or even a threesome anywhere. This is really more about the self and building of the self. So this is, and that's where I'm going to take it now. Here's you. You're trying to decide where to put the most energy. And again, this is the time where you have your communication skills are enhanced. All you have to do, all Spirit is really telling you to do, is to get quiet, take a minute, do a little bit of introspection, and see where your energy is best going to serve you. And that's where this comes in, because you're going to you can trust yourself. You can trust yourself. You know what's best for you. You know what's right for you. And then move in the direction accordingly. Spirit says, go ahead and trust. It's okay. It's all right. You've got this. You really do have this. And it's probably felt a little bit like a hallway, and like you really weren't sure what direction to take next. And I always call it the hallway because one door slams shut behind you, but the other door hasn't quite opened yet. And, you know, the angels are getting your room ready, but it's not ready yet. That hallway, that time in the hallway where you're kind of feeling a little scattered and like, oh my gosh, you know, I don't know what to do next. And you're pulling on the next door, but it's not opening for you. It's not ready for you. That's the time where this introspection is the most vital. That's your self-growth time. So that's what you're supposed to be doing. So any projects that you start right now are going to be fruitful. They're going to be beneficial. You have universal support behind you, and you can trust the decisions that you are making. That's what this is about. So I really don't feel like this is a relationship based, except for self-relationship based. What I would say though, is that if you're listening to this and you're wondering about a partner, I see good things. This is somebody who really does want to build with you. They really do. And you can trust it. You can, and I'm not just saying trust because the card says trust. If we take a look at the artwork here, this is letting go. This is surrendering to the moment. This is not trying to control everything. How is it going to happen? What am I going to do next? And this is for both readings, whether relationship or just in general life. The same message applies. Don't try to control it all. Let go. Surrender to the tides. The stream will carry you, and you'll just go with it, and it'll be fine. But you can trust yourself, okay? You can listen to your own intuition. Your intuition is your inner divine. That is your guide. Now, there is a difference between intuition and fear, and I'm going to touch on that real quick. If it's fear, you will feel it in your body. Your shoulders clench up, or your stomach gets tight, or your chest does, or you get, you know, the butterflies, but not like the good butterflies, like anxious butterflies. That's fear. Intuition is clear. It is a knowing. It's like when you're standing in your bedroom and the breeze comes in through the window. There's no right or wrong to the breeze. It just flows. The energy is just there. It just is. And that's the difference. That's what intuition is. Your spirit message for all of this is choose love. You always have a choice in what you should do. Again, this is really about just surrender to the moment. Just let go. Don't try to control everything. Okay? Choose what makes you happy. Choose what brings you the most joy, and you will be aligned with your path. If you can make not so much the creation of the thing that you're looking at, the how do I want to say this? So a lot of people get stuck on how do they get the thing that they want. So let that go and just make getting into alignment with the thing that you want the most important part of that. So in another way of saying that, as you're building, okay, as you're doing your thing and you're creating and you're doing whatever it is you're doing, trust. It's going to be just fine. Do things that make you happy and bring you fulfillment. Okay, you have the universal support, and you have the inner knowledge to be able to do all of this. And when you do all of that, it's all going to just come together. It's just all going to come together. It will take care of itself if you'll let it. Okay, so I'll pull one more card for our clarifier. And we get happiness. So there it is. There is our clarifier for the entire reading. Trust, let go, go with the river. The river will carry you. It will take you exactly where you want to go. Your part in the whole thing is just to keep tinkering away at the things that are important to you, and then you get your happy. Okay? All right, so that was reading for Group B, and I hope it resonated, and I hope you liked it. Okay, our last group is C, and the first card here, we have Page of Pentacles, and I did forget to say, but I am not reading reversals this time. We have chaos. You can see the storm there. Now, when I was shuffling these, two of them popped out. One is wedding, and the other one is worth waiting for. So I think we know that this is very heavily tipped towards relationship, right? And then our last card is have faith. Spirit messages, have faith. So give me just a second. Okay. So let's start off with the Page of Pentacles. So this is you beginning. This is you being a student here, okay? The pages are messengers, but they're also, each one of them has a specific, I don't know if I want to say status or role is a better word, okay? So now, there is textbook definitions per card, but I don't read that way, okay? Yes, I do know them, but I read intuitively, and I just listen to my spirit guides. I call them in before I even start. So that's how I'm reading, okay? So here we are. Here is you, right? Here is you. And you are the student of life in this particular reading, okay? Now, your second card is chaos. Now, one thing that I want to say about this card is that it looks pretty dark and crappy, really. I mean, look, we've got the tornado, and it's akin to the Tower for anybody who does read, and it tends to make people go, oh no, I don't want that. But the beautiful thing about the loss of a crappy structure is that you get to rebuild a better one. The air is cleared. You get to start all over. And what I'm getting for this is that you're starting over in you. Now, pentacles typically are grounded energy, and they can be things like finances, and that is very true, but I don't get that here. What I'm getting here is that you're starting over an entirely new cycle in life. And it's not even so much a new cycle as it is you're backing off from thinking you know everything. You're starting to go, hey, wait a minute, this might take a little bit more knowledge for me. I might have to study some things just a little bit. Communication is coming in really strong, even though this is a pentacle and not an air card, not a sword card. Communication is coming in pretty strong on this. So between these two cards, what I think is that you're starting over. You're starting over from the ground up. And you are looking to see who you want to give this beautiful, you've done some work. You've done some real soul spiritual work. And you're looking to see who you want to share this with, who you're going to give this pentacle to. Okay? Now, the next two cards that we got were wedding and worth waiting for. Now, yes, of course, this could mean that you either meet somebody at an event that's, a social event, or maybe, this could be talking to somebody already in a relationship. Absolutely. But what I'm getting for this, and I'm not getting for somebody already in a relationship. I'm really getting for somebody outside of one. Your person is in the ethers, and you're trying to manifest this person in your reality. Like, yeah, that's great. Everybody has somebody out there, but I want my person right now. I want my person to be in front of me, and they're actually closer than you think. But it is going to take a little bit of knowledge on your part, okay? You're also going to have to wait for a little while. There's been some rubble that's been cleared out as far as how you approach relationship. Your early conditioning, we grow up seeing how our parents do things, and we think that that's normal, and they might not always have the healthiest of toolkits when it comes to communication and relating. So some things have been wiped away for you, and now it's time for you to, and I hate to say start over, because it's not a real starting over, but what it is you are taking some real time. You're going slower is what you're doing. You're going a little bit slower. You're being a little more meticulous. You're not just in such a rush to just hand over the reins of, oh, here I am, and this is us now, and this is just the way it's going to be. I really get the feel that you are taking your time. You've been through a couple of these now, and you want to take your time and really examine it before you do it. Your spirit message here is to have faith. Trust your faith in this situation. Again, when we're talking about manifesting and when we're talking about manifesting our person, faith is the thing that gets the engine going. That's what actually propels the vehicle. So you don't believe it when you see it. You believe it before you see it. So if you can't do that, if that's just not something that, if you're going, heck, I just don't have it, my faith bank is low and I just do not have it, then get started on a project. Get your mind completely off this subject of where is my person? Where is my person? Everybody else has a person. How come I don't have a person? All of that. Get your mind off of it entirely and get started on projects. That's what you need to do. And in the creation of all that, again, when you raise your resonance or your frequency to a higher level because you're happier, that's when all these things manifest. That's when the good stuff comes in. So Spirit is saying, relax, we've got you. It's okay, we have you. And you might be in a bit of a hallway yourself, but it is definitely a needed one. You need to get busy on things that make you happy. Okay, build up your pentacle. Okay, all right. And remember, this isn't always a precursor of what's going to come, like something's going to wipe something out. Now, if you make your messes, you have to clean them up. But if somebody else makes messes, step back. Let them deal with it, okay? And that's not always something that you can always do. But by and large, no reason to get into drama if you don't need to, right? So if things have been cleared for you and you've become way more clear in what it is you want and how you want to approach it, right now is just work on you, build your empire, okay? And as you're doing that, you're going to be meeting people of the same tribe. You'll be meeting people of the same ilk, okay? So just have faith about it. It's going to come. All right. And here's our last clarifier. Clarify for the whole reading, please. Okay. So this is why I shuffle on camera. You can't make this up. So here's our love card, okay? So again, Spirit is saying, have faith. Your person is out there and it is okay. And you are going to find them and it is all going to work out really well. And they're closer than you think they are, but they are worth waiting for. So during this time, this is your project time. This is the time to show yourself some self-love. As the rubble got cleared up, now you're going to work on yourself and build yourself and bring your self-confidence back. And then the next thing you know, boom, that's when your person comes in. Okay? All right. So that concludes all the readings. I really hope you guys enjoyed this. If you want to do this again, leave me suggestions in the comments and tell me what kind of pick a card readings that you would like to see, and we will do them. Thank you so much, and everybody have a great night.